I'm listening.
Yeah. So I'm representing the Leota Foundation, and so I can talk a little bit about what we do as far as teaching Braille, and you can talk about a little bit of what you do. But then we're going to the. You got a ding ding. You got a bell.
Nah, nah. I was trying to originally get it set up to stream on all platforms at once.
Mm-hmm.
But I just actually this morning got word from the front end provider that it's a error on their end, and so I didn't have time to set up the dramatics and all of that. But I definitely was gonna do it. But
Okay. I got a bell. I can just ring the bell.
oh, okay,
Okay.
that's
Hold a
what's
second.
up.
Okay. Give me.
Did that thing just say LL Cool J?
Come on, man. And with the local DVC news.
So I pressed the button because I forgot I sent the newsletter out like 15 minutes early saying that we're live. So we actually are live, but we ain't gonna get started till noon. We can
So,
kind of
okay. Listen to us now. No, they can.
yeah, they can listen to it. They can see it.
Hey, peoples.
Say what's up, people, wherever you at.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go grab. I gotta go grab the bell. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab the bell.
Okay.
You know what? Do another. Let me see. You got
Go ahead, I'm listening.
the Facebook. I was trying to repost the Facebook thing. I can't find it. Did you post it
Uh,
today?
repost what to Facebook.
The debate.
Hold on one sec. Um, you
I'm
say
looking
you want
for
the
it.
link? Just put the link could just
No, no, no.
be.
I'm just gonna repost on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Plus 1, 2, 5, 3, 6, Des Moines, WA, button. Plus 1, 2, 5, 3, 6, 6, 1, 4, 2, 7, not slide to answer. Message, button.
Here we go.
Plus 1, 2, 5, 3, 6, 6, 1, 4, 2, 7, 9 is leaving a message.
I just posted it again.
Okay. Do. So, in 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching now or in the future, we will be getting started. If you're watching in the future, you can just fast forward about 6.5 minutes, because that's exactly what's going to be here. If you're watching us live, then you get to see us play with technology. I wonder what that's about, but we'll get into it. We'll jump into it. I'm telling you, it's going to be an exciting, spirited conversation, and you probably don't even know what the end is going to be. You can guess, but you really don't know. And I am here. You have seen this gentleman time and time again on the timelines. Mr. Eric Smith. He's all the way over there in Georgia. He don't want you looking up his location, so I ain't gonna say the city.
I'm going.
I got me some Celsius. Make sure I got the energy for this foolishness that's about to be brought up.
Okay, I'm about.
Got some comments from Mr.
I'm
Buddy
about
Brennan.
to do live now. I'm about to let folks know.
Okay.
If I get this. I'm going live. All right, here we go.
Share a poll button. Q&A. Finish button.
All right.
Flash comment. Invite to go live. Invite button. Feature a link. New video button. Feature a link.
I'm at the link.
Button. Tap the show button. Feature this link during your live video. Manage link button. Manage link. Tap the show button to feature during your live video. Tap the show button to done. Feature links. Heading. Done. Button. Tap the show button to manage link. Manage links. Button. Tap.
I figure out how to add a link.
Close. Button. Feature
And was Gwen actually watching? Is that what she was asking earlier?
She probably watched.
Show links to let. Add new
Okay.
link. Close. Button. Cancel. Close. Close. Cancel. Add new link. Save.
4 minutes. 4 minutes, Dougie Fresh, your own.
URL. Add a website URL. Text. Add a title and link. Viewers can open URL. Add a URL. Add a website URL. Text field. Double tap to edit.
There we
URL.
go.
Misspelled edit. Scan text. Paste.
Boom. Add a
HTTPS.
link.
Done.
Boom. Here we go. All right.
Add new link. Save button. Add a title and link. URL. Title. Select. Save to recently. Link preview. Images are generated. Fedora Outlier. Fedora Outlier LLC. Heading.
That's right.
Link. Save. Selected. Check box. Title. URL. Page. Add a title and link. View. Save button. Add new link. Save button. Save. Dim. Feature links. Close button. Close. Feature done. Show links to let. Add new link. Done button. Close button. Feature link. Done. Tap the show button. Manage links. Tap the show button to feature this link during your live video. Button. Fedora show. Show button. Fedora manage. Done. Close. Close button.
Here we go.
One link. Comments. Stars. Button. Mute. Button. Voice enhancement control. Flip camera. New video. Feature a link. Invite. Button. Invite to go. Comment. Button. Flashlight. Share a poll. Q&A. Finish. Finish. Button. Ending with broadcast. Cancel.
Oh, no, I did all that and then hitting in there. Hit the wrong button.
This video will be deleted. No more.
I did all that, and then I messed around, hit the wrong button, and stopped it. Did all that and got it set up just right.
She already sent it to me. We got 2 minutes.
Flash off. Front camera. Mute microphone. Mute video. Tap to add a description.
11:58 a.m. For notification. 11:58. Show note. You phone. 3 minutes. YouTube. Groove. 1 minute ago. Joe Baker. Part 2. They got my dad. Phone. Phone. 5 minutes ago. +1 2 5 3 6 6 1 4 2 7 9. Missed call. Button. Phone. 4 minutes ago. +1 2 5 3 6 6 1 4 2 7 9. Contacted Washington State Department of Revenue. Visit website for more information. Phone. Flashlight. Off. Camera. Button. Chat message input. Chat. Ellipsis. Dot. Messages. 1 unread message. Double tap to open.
Flashlight. Comment. Write a comment. TP.
All right, all right. So yours to the Eric Smith. We about to go live. We're on YouTube, and I just shared the link right there in the comment thread as well. If y'all want to check out the debate, I'm trying to navigate and put everything in a spot that can have everybody see me. And, you know, I can't see y'all, but y'all can see me. You know what? I ought to write a song about it. But no, but I'm not, because y'all know.
11:59 a.m.
So it is 1 minute till, and we are live on YouTube. If you look right there on the thread, it has it set that you can click on that. And but also for those who are watching me live, y'all can stay right here. And also, oh, that's about to fall. Can't have that falling.
All right.
Talk about
We are here. It is 12 o'clock, the day that we all have been waiting for. Thank all of you all out there now and in the future for watching and listening to this particular presentation. There was a lot of work that went into kind of hyping it up. And it is the age-old conversation of Braille versus tech. And we had some comments beforehand from you guys that wrote in as well as sent emails, and we'll address those. Shout out to my guy, Buddy Brandon, out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at least. I don't know whether he's in Philadelphia or what, but we're going to answer that question and get to it. But for now, we got Mr. Eric Smith. Eric, tell the people what's up.
What's up, everybody? It's an honor to be here. I am Eric Smith. I am here representing the Leoto Foundation, where Leoto stands for Living Every Day on Their Own, where we help assist persons living with blindness and low vision on how to gain access to items and activities, and as well as programs such as learning how to read Braille and also using technology. I'm here representing on the side of Braille. All right, let them folks know your boy ready. Your boy ready.
Yeah, it's a good thing we monetize it. You just took all the money away from the like copyright infringement.
No, I just paid you 12 seconds of it. That's why I stayed up under the number.
Oh, I don't know if that's the rule, but we're going to go with it because it's done. What is done is done when it's live. Listen, I am VaShaun Jones, visionary of Fedora Outlier LLC. And you guys, you know me. I stand for helping individuals who are disabled find or create work that is meaningful, purposeful, and profitable. And I definitely stand on the side of technology, right? Technology versus Braille in today's age. It's 2025, ladies and gentlemen. You know what it is. It's 2025. And we got this guy here, Mr. Eric Smith, who's going to talk about some ancient ancient hieroglyphic technology that was back in 1423. And you got, I'm gonna let him talk his joke, but right now it's me, and we got all this technology. You can look around the room. Look. If you can't see, I'm gonna tell you. We got audio equipment. We got computer equipment. We got Android and iPhones. I mean, we got cameras, microphone. I mean, no Braille. The only thing we touching is buttons, baby. So that's what's happening in 2025 when it comes to the technological side. Eric, what say you about this Braille thing, man?
So what happened was, now 14 something is different. And I think you kind of over exaggerate on it. But just like people who does technology, don't get me wrong, it is good. And I'm not taking anything away from technology. However, Braille has been around for many years, and it is not going away. Now, bring it. I'm let you ring the bell. I'm let you go first. So I guess I'm pro Braille, you pro tech. So where you want me to go with it first? You want to go with why Braille is so important?
Wherever you want to go. What's your response to what I said, man? I got all this technology around me. What you got? I ain't even seen you use no Braille yet. Look like you're using technology over there, my guy.
Well, when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. So I had to make sure that I brought my level to the where you were with the audience that's participating today. However, Braille, even though it's been around for a long time, so has speech, so has English, so have books. Just because a person can have an audio book and listen to a book, just because a person can go to the movie and see a movie, but yet the book, reading it still is fundamental. Most people say that the book is better than the movie. Braille, even though it has its practical use, there are a lot of things that are beneficial with learning and being able to know how to read Braille.
I'm a cough on that one. Hold on one sec. So what you telling me is that Audible is not a good choice if you're a Braille reader? I'm confused.
Well, Audible is a form of technology. And
Exactly.
if my memory serves me correct, just like you said, Braille versus tech. Now, tech is all, audiobooks is great. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to reading, studies have shown, now I'm about to go scientific. Studies have shown that when a person is reading Braille, when they were doing the scan of the brain, parts of the brain are highlighted, showing that it is the synapses are re-engaged, showing that the person is reading, they're feeling what they're reading, and it keeps it engaged, just as if a person was reading a regular book. And it shows more activity in the brain as to opposed to a person listening to an audiobook and or having something read to them.
Well, you would have to be engaged, and even more engaged than the person that is reading the book sighted, because how often have we listened to an audiobook and fell asleep? How often have we read a book and fell asleep? And we see that all the time. That's why we take a book on vacation, a flight, whatever the case may be, and the next thing you know, the book is sitting on our chest and we're knocked out. So I would imagine you would have to be more engaged because you got your fingers moving in order to stay,
alert.
Touching the book. Alert.
Right. You have proven my point. It keeps you alert. It keeps you on your toes or keeps you on your fingers. So you proving my point right there. Reading a book with Braille helps the person, for one, to stay engaged. And the second thing, if you fall asleep with you reading your Braille book, well, guess what? When you wake up, you ain't got to recharge it. Yeah. No.
Okay, but who even said you won that round? Because first of all,
round just started.
Reading a book in Braille requires both of your hands, and then it takes forever to read it. Really? And first of all, the book is heavy as I don't know what. Especially if you read something good like a novel, some Eric J. Dickey or some Carl Weber or something, some Zane. The book is thick as 3 Bibles. I mean, who wants to carry that around?
You see, that's where a level of complacency have to be considered, because hard work never hurts anyone. So it is worth obtaining and worth having. You do the work. You put in the work. A heavy book is not going to make you less of a person. If you carry a book that may be thick or not. Now, it may be a little bit of more inconvenience, but look at the benefits. The fact is, you're still able to read that book.
Okay.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down this way. Say if you are a person who wants to learn another language.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because you learn another language, do you stop speaking your native tongue?
I don't know. I'm not answering no question like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you asked that for the people out there.
So when you read in Braille, and the thing about it is, it doesn't always have to be a heavy or bulky book. There are people who can read Braille even faster than a person with sight and or even audio. So it may be time consuming for beginners, but once again, it's very rewarding because you're doing the work to show that you're taking the time to appreciate what you have learned or what you know.
So it's about appreciating the fine art of your fingers moving across these raised dots and enjoying and basking in the luxury of Braille books. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. What's like going on a trip. Now, if you're going on a destination, now, yes, the destination is exciting, but what about the experience of the journey? See, that's what Braille does. You experience the journey. You enjoy the traveling that you're doing. Now, for those who like to travel, that is. So when you're reading, you are appreciating what you're feeling to get to that destination.
I'm calling BS. Listen, man, if I got an Audible book that's going to read it to me, I just got to have it in my headphones. I can have it on speakerphone, and I'm just enjoying the ride without having to drive, without having to carry something around. Somebody call, I move my fingers from the book. Now I got to find out where I left. I mean, who wants to do all that when technology does it for you?
Okay. Now, let me just hip you to how tech and Braille can even work together, which you because you are pro tech. They even have devices that are smaller, about the size of a person's cell phone, that have Braille dots that raise up so that the length of the book can be right there in one small compact. For my viewers who can see what I'm holding up, I am holding up what is called a refreshable Braille reader. It is a little bit bigger than my cell phone, and it has an entire several books off an SD card that I can take anything that I want that is in Braille to text, and I can feel the cross, and the dots will raise up, and I can still read my Braille. So that goes back to your point as far as the bulkiness of it. However, once again, challenging your mind, putting a challenge to yourself to read is nothing. Even people who are sighted, yes, they have their smartphones and their smart devices, but guess what? They still got to read something on it. They still got to read where they got to tap or open to click on. So they still, reading is fundamental. Braille is like reading. It's fundamental.
Braille is also expensive. Let me tell you what happened to me. So I'm at Papacitos. They see that I'm blind, and you know what they do? They got the Braille menus. They was like, oh, man, I get the opportunity to serve a blind person. This is going to be great. Let's hand them the Braille menus and watch what they do with it. So I open up the Braille menu. I'm telling people at the table what they have. And so when the waiter came over to ask us what we wanted, I gave him the stuff off the menu. And guess what? The menu was old as heck. And so I asked the manager, and I already knew the answer to it. Number one, they didn't know to update the menu. How many blind people come in there and actually use the menu, number one? And then number two, the menu is changing all the time. Like, I mean, what do you do with the specials that you come out with, right? It's hard enough updating the website to fit the new stuff that you got going on. And then, number three, it's expensive and it comes to you dusty because it's never been used. So, what say you about the Braille menu that's out of date, expensive, and hardly ever being used?
I'm sorry, expensive for who? Expensive for you as a patron, or expensive for the restaurant to provide it? You failed to let me know where the expenses is. Who's it
For
expensive for?
for the restaurant.
Ah,
Therefore, they
this,
don't do it.
well, let me tell you something, young grasshopper.
Hmm.
Under the provisions that are set out for when it comes to providing for those persons with disabilities, if they were to put a ramp in for a person with a wheelchair, well, guess what? That's tax deductible. They're making it accessible for their clientele. Now, I love the restaurant that you mentioned earlier, so I'm not going to badmouth them at all.
Hmm.
But it is up to them to have due diligence on making sure that they keep their things updated. And it is not that expensive for a Braille items to be put in place. So you fail to make the point that it is expensive as far as for us, the clients who go there to the restaurant to eat. But if the restaurant were to take and do due diligence, they can provide those things, and it can be a tax write-off because it is the cost of doing business.
Okay. Okay. Now they update their menu frequently, so they should have a liaison with a Braille printing company that when everything is updated for their non-disabled patrons, they should have it updated for the visually impaired.
I can't tell a person how they can run their business,
Mm-hmm.
but if they were to do due diligence and you found out they were doing that, when you go even more, wouldn't it be even more appeasing or more inviting, knowing that a restaurant is concerned about the blind community to make sure that they are making their menus compliant to that way that when we sit there and we want to read our menu in Braille, that is available for us. So that falls upon their decision. If they decide they want to have a liaison to help them put together their menus, or if they want to have a special menu, or it goes back to customer service. The service should say, you know what, we had a few items added to our menu. Let me tell you about our specials. May I? See, that falls back down also on good customer service. Because
Mm.
I'm going to say, yes, tell me about that delicious quail that I've heard so much about that's not on the menu. My friend told me I have quail on the menu. Tell me more about it. A good service would tell you. A good restaurant will provide that.
Okay.
Instead of being cheap, they need to be considerate of their clientele and their customers.
Mm. Mm. Well, let me ask you this. So, six blind people on average sit down at the table. They bring out the Braille menus. They say, sorry, we only have four. That's okay. That's cool. I mean, having four is great. And they sit it down and, we kind of look at it because six out of the six people, all they know is grade one Braille. It's in grade two. And what do we do?
That is where customer service comes into play. Excuse me, sir or ma'am. I have this menu, but it's in grade two Braille. I only know how to read grade one. Do you mind telling me a little bit more about some of the items that are on the menu? See, a closed mouth don't get fed.
Well, I'm not talking about ordering the food. We all know how to order food. We're going to get the food ordered. I'm just saying that six blind people and none of the six know Braille because it's obsolete. It's
Well,
old.
then they can call me and I'll be happy to teach them.
No, but it's old. It's dots on a page. I mean, when we could just have the waiter tell us what's on the menu, it's a lot quicker.
But for those who can read Braille, it is available. It's like having car insurance. So you have car insurance, but you may not get in an accident at all. But if you do, you have insurance as a backup to be there for you. So if you have a Braille menu and you know how to read Braille, great. There's right there is at your disposal. If you do not know how to read Braille, then you will make other plans and other options. Just like if I was to go to a Spanish restaurant, I didn't speak Spanish, and the waiter and the menu's all in Spanish. Well, what I do then? I
Tu
would
hablas en
simply,
español? Sí.
hablo Spanish. Sí.
Sí.
However, que hora es? So,
Yeah.
but the thing is, we still have to do our due diligence as a patron, as a customer, and as well the businesses got to do their part in making sure that they are providing a service that can accommodate their clientele.
Okay. Now, I will admit a little bit. Um, so I got my fingers on Braille probably about 18 years ago. Anil Lewis, who was the state president of the National Federation of the Blind of Georgia Incorporated at that time, was holding classes at the office in Decatur. And I was able to come out and I learned A through Z. And I learned a couple of, contractions and, whatever it is y'all call it when MENT and, .56T and all that stuff, .50, all the contractions, I guess they call grade 2. I learned a little bit of that, but guess what? 17 years ago, the iPhone came out, baby, at the same time. So do you think I want to be filling on some dots or having the phone talk to me? And touching is touching, but there ain't no dots on the phone. In fact, it's a flat screen that all of us are using now. All of us ain't using Braille. Look how quickly technology was adapted by the blind. Every blind person you could throw a rock and they got that technology in their hand. Everybody don't have Braille, or they know about it because they blind. Every blind person knows about Braille, but they got that technology in their hand. To that you say what?
I say this. I know 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds who got cell phones. So the accessibility of technology is great and it is abundant. But just because a person has an iPhone don't mean they know how to use it. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, but I think they can get a lot further with that phone than they can trying to read through that Braille.
But they still have to learn how to use it. Same with Braille. You can learn how to use Braille and learn how to read Braille. It's always, the thing about life is, VaShaun, learning is a continuous process for our whole life. Learning is growing. Whether it's Braille, whether it's technology, you still got to put the work in to learn something. So if they're going to use an iPhone, if they're going to use a goddamn whatever they're going to use, guess what? They still got to learn it. Another thing, they still got to learn the updates that come out every so often, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you got it and you think you know it just right, guess what? Oh, there's a new update that's available tonight at midnight. Press yes to update your device. Now, don't get me wrong. The technology and the things that it offers are great. Don't get me wrong. I use my technology very much as well. However, have you ever tried to use your cell phone really quick on the elevator to press the button before the door closes before you get to the next floor?
Well, I want to go back to this new thing, this new update that you talking about. But if there was a new book that came out and you wanted to read it, you can't because it ain't in a format for you to read it. And I'm talking about it come out today. When are you going to have it in Braille? 3 years from now?
Oh, young grasshopper, I will have it the next month.
The next month?
So let me tell you something.
You're a month behind.
Okay. What's the
urgency? I'm in school. I'm in school.
If you in school, they don't have their books before the semester begin ready to go. So
no, I'm not talking about the school book. The professor says, hey, I need you to read XYZ book that came out whenever. It came out today.
So what happens is you pull the ISBN number. The ISBN number will let you take it to the Library of Congress for the National Library Services for the Blind. You type ISBN number, and it will say, would you like to have this in Braille to text? You can say yes. You can receive it several ways. You can either download it. Yes, you still got to use technology.
Update.
Or you use technology. And what will happen is, but with Bluetooth technology, it can go directly to your refreshable Braille reader. And guess what? That book is available in Braille because it does what is called Braille to text. And it takes the words that are in that text book and convert it to Braille for the reader.
Okay. Sounds like an update to me, but whatever. All right, so you were talking
about
this.
But but it is a free update.
All right. I got
All
it.
right, let me drop that in there. Free update. All right. Next point. Come on. I'm ready for you. Man, this is so much fun. Shout out to everybody checking in with us. Hey, I want to say hey to my wife, Gwen. Hey, Gwen. All right, keep going, VaShaun.
This elevator thing. So you so crazy. What's the deal with that?
Before I learned how to read Braille, I remember getting on the elevator, trying to press the button before the door closed and accidentally hit the emergency button.
Scared you to death, huh?
That thing rung the bell, and then you hear the speakers coming on. This is building security. How can I help you? Now that I know how to read Braille, I get on elevators when there's no one, and I can find the number that I need to press in a timely manner to press it before the doors close to press the floor that I want to go to. Now, if I had to use my phone, I had to pull the phone out and use one of the things on there to say, it'll tell me that there's different dots and numbers, but it's not going to tell me which one is dot, the first floor or the fifth floor.
Well, I will concede this particular round because I too get in the elevator, and because I know grade 1 Braille, then I can press whatever button that I want to go to based on the floor that I'm trying to get to. And before you get to the next point, once you get off the floor, you can find your room using Braille. I get it. But after that, for real, like, what's the purpose of it? I mean, I what about employment? I don't even see people working in jobs and using Braille.
Okay, so what's your point? I fail to hear your point when you say working in Braille. So what's the, so?
I mean, they don't need Braille to get a job.
You don't need Braille to get, but you don't need technology to get a job either.
Oh, you don't.
Okay, now let me ask you this:
Unless you cleaning up bus stations, but other than that.
No, okay, this way. If you were to apply for a job, you had to fill out an application, right?
Yep.
You have two ways
Not
to fill
in
out
Braille. It's not in Braille.
So if it's not in Braille, then what happens? So what will the employer do under the American Disability Act?
Hey, you never seen an application in Braille? You've never seen it, but it's digital.
So it says, if a person requires assistance, please let us know. If we need to provide, so under the ADA, accessible accommodation must be provided for persons with low vision, blindness, deaf, and or wheelchair accessibility. So if I was to apply for a job and I'm not tech savvy, and I was to reach out to talk to the employer, listen, I would like to apply for a job. Now, they may say, how would you like it? Large print, Braille, so you have options. Or they may say, you know what? Can I do, me personally, I'm like, well, can I schedule an interview with you tomorrow at 1 o'clock? You let me get into that chair to talk to you. I want to sell myself for that job. And if the employer says, well, we don't have things in Braille, well, there are programs that do, and we'll have items that I can receive in Braille. I even have my own slate and salad where I can write Braille myself if I have to.
Oh my God. Are you really talking about this rock on paper thing, this poker that you're walking around with in your, that's ridiculous. The little metal thing.
What I have is about the size of about the smaller than a ruler, a regular ruler. And it's streamlined and I can write with it. But also, if I don't want to use that, I have the ability to use my refreshable Braille display reader, which is I showed earlier about the size of a cell phone, and I can Perkins out the letters, and it will come up and it will translate to the recipient in regular text for them to read it, those who are sighted.
Okay. Anything else on this thing called Braille, Eric? Any other points you were just dying to make?
No, what this thing is right here. Yes, the majority of the population, only 10 to 20% of blind persons know how to read Braille. The reason why the number is so low is because of accessibility and places to learn to teach Braille. Also, several people may not know what's available to them or accessible to them, and others may feel that why take the time to learn something when I can just have it read to me from my device. And they have valid points when they want to do that, and if they want to do that. However, as I stated earlier, learning Braille is like learning another language. Challenge yourself to learn. There's nothing wrong with learning something new. If you want to learn another language, you would do so if your heart inclines you to do so. I invite those who are interested in learning Braille, let me be your, see what we offer. We'd be happy to show you how Braille can benefit and how you can learn how to read Braille, even if it's grade 1, and we take y'all up to grade 2.
And we'll give you guys the opportunity to gather his information. We're almost done. So I'm sure you guys know I was playing devil's advocate, and of course I use Braille. I actually have a book right here with all the contractions in it. All the contractions. For example, .50 is one. And we can go on and on and on. It's about 50 pages of all 100 and some contractions that's in grade 2 Braille. I also have my little handy dandy Focus 14 Braille display right here that I connect to my phone and I use as a keyboard. And one of the things that I love about Braille is that you can type and receive messages and you're not disturbing anyone. And you don't have to worry about your voice cutting in and out. And you can use it on the train and all of that. So I am a big proponent of people learning Braille. And actually, the higher statistic of individuals that are blind or visually impaired and employment is that those that read Braille are known to be more gainfully employed than those that don't. And so I learned it 17 years ago. Now, unlike Eric, and I don't even know if he does, but I'm not reading a book in Braille. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it. I grew up on Audible, and I'm not doing it. But as far as the elevator, finding my rooms, I'm traveling this weekend by myself, and I'm going to need the Braille skills to be able to navigate around. But I'm also need my technological skills to get around. And both are great. So any last words, Eric?
Can I play devil's advocate against technology now?
Oh, well, sure.
All right. How we looking on time? Let me check how we looking on time first. Let's make sure we're looking good.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes to technology, technology has its place for everything. But if you are in the middle of reading something and your battery goes out or the Wi-Fi go out, what does that leave you? What resource or what can you do when those things happen?
Find a charging cord quickly.
Okay, but a big storm came through and the power is out.
Well, you're out too, unless you just got the manual to the generator in Braille. What is the Braille got to do with the power outage? I'm not understanding where you're trying to lead the witness, sir.
So, so what do you do? See, when the power go out, I can still read. I ain't got to worry, okay? So when the power go out and the internet go out, what can you do with technology?
Well, first of all, I have several batteries that are charged that I can just smack on the back of my phone and keep going for hours and hours. But, if your power is out and you think reading Braille is going to help soothe that situation, then you have a whole nother thought process, my brother, and you continue to read your Braille. I thought you was playing devil's advocate on technology. I didn't know you was still beating.
You think about it. If your power goes out, you see, if the power goes out, at least I still have something to do to keep my mind fed.
Mm.
If your power goes out and the internet goes out, you can use your quote unquote extra batteries up to a certain point in time. Only thing you can do after that is go to sleep, go to bed. Night's over, or fix you a drink and call it the evening.
Well,
If
reading
I
that
want to continue
boring
to
Braille
stimulate my
book, I'm going to
brain,
sleep too.
well, I know you rereading Cat in the Hat, so I know you know you get something
Right.
Cat in the Hat and green eggs and ham. So
I am.
yes, but the thing is, even when it comes to technology, some of the latest devices that are coming out, they are great, but affordability. You mentioned earlier about things being expensive. Some of the things that are out now, it's a little pricey, and it's hard for a person who is on a set income to afford some of the newer technology when it comes to tech. How do you answer that?
Well, I'm a proponent of, again, finding or creating work that is meaningful, purposeful, and profitable. And I think that if you go to work and get a job, create a job, find a way to make more money, then you can definitely afford the technology. I think a lot of things that are created specifically for the blind is very, very expensive. I honestly, besides a Braille display, don't have any of it. I think modern technology has caught up with what has been sold to us. And apps like Be My Eyes, that's free. Um,
Mm-hmm.
FaceTime, that is free, allows me to do a very similar thing as a lot of the paid services and devices that are again sold to us. So, with that being said, it's kind of relative, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. And think about it too, yes, you are a strong component, and which I admire what you do as far as advocating for work and for employment. But however, if a person has retired and later on in life they retire and they start losing their sight, they're not trying to go back to work. They're trying to enjoy retirement. But being able to receive some of those items in tech, it still may be costly and not advantageous for them to spend that money, especially if they're living on a budget. What would you say would be a great component or something that they can turn to that can help them that are help those who are on a set budget? What technology do you recommend or that you have come across that is? And I'm not playing advocate here. I'm speaking. I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm speaking advocacy now. What do you recommend that can be very beneficial and helpful for those?
Well, I think not buying the latest and greatest and going maybe a few versions back, it will dramatically cut down on costs. It's like when you purchase a car, if you purchase it new, you are assuming all of the depreciation. But if you take that same car and purchase it a year or 2 years later, then it's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper. The depreciation has been taken out of it, and you can get it at a good price. So that's one thing. The second thing is there's always organizations and churches and family members that are willing to help you if they see that this device, and you can explain to them and justify that this device will help you. The Older Blind program, it's something called named something different in every state, but there is an older blind program through vocational rehabilitation. They can help with these device purchases. So if you don't know about that program, how to get in contact with your older blind counselor, just reach out and we'll help you make it happen. But I think just like with anything in life, no matter the age, if you want it, there's a way to get it. Where there's a will, there's a way. So that's what I say to that.
That's the original, man. I'm gonna use. No, so I think when we look at it, VaShaun, Braille versus technology, it boils down to a personal preference and what a person wants to use. There's no wrong at all. I think there is. It just boils down to what you want to learn and what you want to use and what's going to be. Because what works for me will not work for the next person and vice versa. So we continue to encourage people to find out what is going to be great for you.
Right. So, buddy Brandon wrote in and he said, "Hey, you guys are asking the wrong question." And so, of course, I thanked them for responding. And then I asked him, I say, "Well, what is the right question?" And he was saying how to use them simultaneously, how to use them together, how to blend Braille and technology. And it's not one against the other, it's a matter of using them both. And I think that's what you discovered, those of you all that are watching and listening, is that Eric and I both use technology and Braille whenever it's needed. It's the right tool for the right time for the job that you want to get done, right? So, getting on the elevator, the menu, the doors in the hotel, reading a book, typing out something, on the train, excuse me, on the car with the family, and you don't want to be disturbed and you don't want to disturb them. Putting on headphones if you're using, technology. It all is a vehicle to get you to your happiness in life. And if you have the ability, if you was a basketball player, to dribble with both hands just as good as you could one to the other, then you would use it. And that's the same thing with Braille and technology. If you learn how to use them both, become good at the tool, great at the tool, then more doors are open to you because you're exposed to more things that'll be able to help you throughout life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds good. Yes, and to Brandon's point, so there's a way that your devices, your smartphones, along with Bluetooth technology, can connect to refreshable Braille readers, so that if someone sends you a text and you're not able to hear because of maybe the sound environment that you're in, you can still have your device um, lift up the Braille dots on what the person is texting you, and you can text them right back using the appropriate keys, which will send a Braille to text, and you can also do text to Braille. So the two can work harmoniously together. It's about knowing how to connect the devices, and it goes back down to what I said too. It takes time to learn how to use these things. It don't happen automatically. It don't happen overnight. But the more you use it, the better and more proficient you will become in using those items. So yes, the two can work together harmoniously if a person wants to take the time to learn them.
Well, there you have it. So, Eric, tell the people how they can reach you, what Leoto has to offer them, what's kind of your class schedule, when's your next session, just anything, how much it costs that you would want them to know about Leoto and the Braille and technology that you guys teach.
Sure. So Leoto, our next class, we teach Braille twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it is an hour-long class. So the next class begins in September, the first Tuesday in September, right after Labor Day. Deadline for that class is July 1st or June 30th, July 1st. And the reason why we have that deadline set is because what's going to happen is, of course, there's always be one or two persons like, oh, I told my friend about it. Is it too late? So I'll at least will maybe extend the grace by a week or so. But this allowed me time to do an assessment to see what level of Braille the person is willing to learn or want to learn and what they know already. Also, this gives us time to mail them out their Learn to Read Braille book, slate and stylus, and Braille paper. That's we send out at least, we want them to have it at least 2 weeks before class begins to make sure they have all the items. And, sometimes sending things in the mail, things are slower in some areas, but this gives us time to get the Braille kit to them. The Braille class is a one-year course from September all the way through August. This year's graduation will be held August the 24th, which is a Saturday, the 23rd or 24th. Whatever that Saturday is, the graduation will be held. The classes are $40 a month, which averages out to $10 a week for class. Now, what we do for persons, they can do, some people they like to pay 2 months in advance. Some people like to pay for 6 months. Some people like to go month by month to pay for it. The registration, however, is $50 for registration, and that will include them receiving the Braille kit and everything as they get started. The classes also offer what is called a tutoring. So if a student is struggling and they need a little more help, then I have 4 other instructors that we will make arrangements for them to receive tutoring to help them to see where their challenges or struggles may be, maybe over a particular letter. And we noticed that when we got to punctuation, there's a little bit more of a challenge for the students. So we slow it down just a little bit to cover the punctuation and the challenging areas of Braille. Starting in the end of April, we will be offering what is called a tech class. So what we will be doing with the tech class, we will show basic information on how to use the smart devices such as your iPad and your iPhone, and as well as the refreshable Braille reader that I spoke about earlier. We will be teaching the students how to use that. And also we will answer questions that persons may have when it comes to the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Also, for students who graduate, we have what is called the reading program. Once a week at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, students can come back and they can read in a group, because even though you learn Braille in a year, it takes almost 2 years to get really proficient with reading and really comfortable. So we offer the reading program. And every first Tuesday of the month at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, we have a guest speaker. For example, in the past, I had a saxophonist come play for the students. This past month, I had a person speak about genealogy and ancestry.com. So it varies on who the guest speaker is. So the students really get a chance to enjoy the whole classroom experience from the comfort of their home via the Zoom platform.
Excellent, excellent. Cool. So I'm VaShaun Jones, Fedora Outlier LLC, and you know what we do. And if you don't, here's what we do. We help individuals that are disabled find or create work that is meaningful, purposeful, and profitable. And we do that through teaching you the skills that you need to learn and master. And we operate all over the United States and all over the world. We've taught classes in other countries, and we have contracts in multiple states. It is a dream come true for me, but my goal is to help as many blind people who actually want to become employed gainfully to become employed gainfully. And so that's our mission. And you can reach out through any means that you have for us, whether it's on social media or the website or email or phone number, and we'll make it happen is my motto. So cool. All right, Eric.
What's your email handle? How can they reach you? You asked me, and I forgot to say how they can reach me, but how can they reach you, VaShaun?
Anywhere you can type in Fedora like the hat, Outlier, Outlier, based off of Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers. So you can reach me at excellence@fedoraoutlier.com, fedoraoutlier.com, youtube.com/fedoraoutlierllc, Facebook, same thing, TikTok, Twitter, X, same thing. And how can they reach you, Eric?
So they can go to the website Leoto, that's LEOTO.org. And also they can send me an email at esmith@leoto.org. And on social media, Eric Epitome Smith. That's EPITOME Smith. And that's how I am found on social media. And also the Leoto Foundation on IG. And I think that's everything. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. And
that's the ticket.
Yeah, where our motto is to let your heart see what your eyes cannot. Hey.
Got you. All right. Well, the battle has been won, and guess what? You guys are the winner. Learn Braille, learn technology, and guess what? Both of them will assist you in your goals in life, and you'll find a purpose for either one of them at the right time. I'm VaShaun Jones.
I'm Eric Smith. Thank you all.
And we are out. Thank you guys for watching now and in the future. Let's change the world. Let's change the world together.